back on the Mini. It's Father's Day. I've got my download glow up going on as well with the double mow. And I'm squeezing in some work before we go and see Corn this evening. Luckily we only live 10 minutes from download, so should be a fairly easy few jobs on Father's Day while I'm having some chill out time. And I've got a couple of little tasks to do on the Mini in this video, so it shouldn't be a long video, but it's one that I've been looking forward to doing because I bought a bag of bits and then immediately lost them. And then I've had the morning trying to find them again. So these are some new bumper hangers direct from BMW. It's the full set for the front bumper. Now I do have broken parts on there, so some of it needs replacing and other bits can just be fudged a bit, I guess, and we'll see how we get on. So let's show you the fitment at the minute and show you why I need this, and then I'll hopefully make a repair and see what it looks like. So it looks all right from the front, but when you come around the side here, you can see there's quite a big gap, and this is just not attached at all. Now I do think I'm missing a whole section under the car. I think there should be kind of like a I don't know what they call it, an under engine tray or something on there, but we've never had one. Something else I've got on this video is I've tried a new bumper back to black. I've just put it on that one section there for now. Actually bought it from TikTok, so we'll see how that goes over time as it settles in. This size is similar, and this is what I bought. So this is the bumper mounting parts, left and right. I bought a pair of them, but I'm pretty sure that one, which goes in like that into the bumper, I think that one's fine. It's this one that I need, and I do get the bolts with it, but I think in there I've got a new set of them as well. Look, I think I can see them. So let's get it apart and just see what's going on. Now, I'll show you the major thing that's got a problem. And that's this here, look. So, tie wraps and tie wraps, because on both sides, the captive nut that is in the slam panel is just not there. I think one side it's there, but it's threaded. The other side is just broken. So we're going to try and see if we can put a nut and bolt in that as well today. Some of the other things we've got, I've managed to pick up some rather large Jubilee clips, and also these are some Torx 6mm M6 Torx bolts, stainless steel, for the top of the intercooler. That's two of these put on. It's probably wants snipping down actually, it's a bit long, and I got the other one in under there. That's all good. Again, a little bit long, probably didn't need to be as big as they are. Bought a pack of them, dirt cheap on eBay. I say dirt cheap, everything's expensive on this car when it adds up. Okay, so next job we're going to tackle this, I think. On this corner here, it's all damaged, so we're going to get that off, replace the hanger and replace this corner bolt. I think I'm going to call a halt to things there. So I've got this in. Bumper's absolutely smashed to bits on that top corner, so that's not great. I've had to nut and bolt these with a washer because the plastic's broke, and that one is already fitted and not needing adjusting. However, so I've realised that I've actually got a part missing under here. So all of this is not attached. Something should tie all that in. So another aborted job, but it's looking all right. So look, see when it shuts. So at the front it looks okay. There's still a massive gap here, but I think when this bottom gets tied in, that will close up a bit. And this here, I just can't figure out what I've done wrong there, because the bracket on the inside is all the way up. So I'll order the part for the bottom and I'll get that adjusted. The main thing is it's not going to come flying off while I'm driving. Okay, so let's park it there, and we'll see what happens when I come back to it in a few days with some better parts. The next job is trying to tidy up these wheels. I'm hoping with a bit of a clean and a polish, I can get them looking good enough to not need a full refurb. I honestly can't believe the difference it's made. I'm not going to refurb these. I'm going to get some new tyres straight on them and go racing. Obviously, it'd be rude not to. I reckon with another hour I could probably get them a lot better. However, 80% of the way there for 20% of the way work is what we're all about. So, yeah, very pleased. I totally understand that a minute ago we were talking about just leveling the front bumper up, and now we're not. So I have picked up some coilovers, really cheap, off of Facebook Marketplace. However, we're having a bit of a disaster. So this side came off okay, and this big bolt here, in quite hard, but at least someone's greased the end, so it did come out. That obviously goes in there. All good. Trickier with these two bolts that go in the top of there, under here. One of them's just knackered. We need to replace that for sure. And then this side, don't believe I'm going to get that out without destroying the trailing arm. I mean, it's loose, but then it's seized and it won't go forward or backwards. So I think I'm going to leave it overnight with some penetrating oil on it. But you can see the state of the head on that one. Never been off. So that's going to need replacing. The bolt is. So I'm going to replace all the bolts. There's two big ones at the bottoms and there's 4 in the top. So they're all going to get replaced. While I'm under here, I'm just inspecting the rest. Anything that's got a bush in it's perished. Anything that's metal is rusted. And I'm not going to replace everything just yet, but it's just definitely on my radar of things that are going to have problems and need to replace in the future. So having a good inspection under there and just keeping an eye on things. As for the rear brakes, they look all right, but I think this one's catching. It's making a noise when I'm driving. It doesn't feel like it is. It's not getting hot or anything. But I think it could be the handbrake adjustment or something like that. So we're going to have to investigate that while we're off as well. But these are the coilovers. Widely reviewed as the worst coilovers you can ever put on any car. But they were really cheap and they've got to be better than the originals that are absolutely rusted solid. So bumper gap at the front still isn't addressed. Car's in the air. Yeah, we're back to getting our hands mucky. I have started stripping out more of the car. I think if we're going for track days, I may as well just, while I'm doing it, do the job. So I'm taking some of the interior panels out. I've actually had a really big spending spree over the weekend. So I've ordered a orange performance stealth airbox. That's cool, it's on the way. I've obviously ordered the coilovers. They were used off Marketplace, £200. Don't know if that's a good price or not. They're about £300 new, so about a third off. So we'll see how they go. I also bought a big brake kit, so it's the R53 brakes, which should go under the 15-inch wheels I've got. And as soon as I've got them on and mounted up, I will try a wheel, and if that goes on, I'll order some tyres. Jobs are good, and we can get on the track day. There's a track day I've got my eye on later this month. Hopefully we can get out there, but it is dependent on getting the coilovers on, getting the brakes on and the tyres on now. If I can get all that done in the next week or so, I'll be good and we'll be on the track. If not, it'll be July before we get on the track. Okay, so we had some problems. That's normal. But the coilovers are on. I think I've set them too low. I've not loaded it down yet. This bottom bolt here was absolutely hellish. I'm now the proud owner of a new tub of MAP gas. So I put some fire on it and that fixed it. But the coilovers are in. I am going to try and lower it down, see if it sits nice, take it for a drive, and then I might have to adjust the heights. Well, it's low. So yeah, maybe it's too low, but we'll see. Let's, that's the front. And that's the back. So that looks sweet as, but might be too low to drive. So let's take it for a spin and see how we look. Thanks for watching, everyone. That's all we've got time for on this video. Unfortunately, it was a little bit disjointed, but we'll be back on the next one with a bit more organised approach. Coilovers are on. We have a few problems to iron out on the front, but we'll get to that in the next video. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you then.